to mostly cloudy. It is partly sunny, 31. Paul Jurgens News Radio, KFGO.
The Mighty 790 KFGO. Good afternoon and welcome back to The Drive. I'm Dan Michaels. Paulie Lyons is our producer. And you just heard Paul Jurgens, the KFGO News Center. Thank you for joining us. What a neat story this was. Just a couple of days ago, Cory Klocek of Baldwin Township was out trying to get his buck. He did. He got a beautiful 10-point buck, but he also got a little something extra. He ended up getting a gator when he was out hunting in Minnesota. How often do you ever hear those stories? Of course, it went absolutely around the world. I know Cory has been a media darling since this all took place, and he was kind enough to take one more moment to join us in Fargo, North Dakota today. Please say hello to Cory Klocek. Hi, Cory.
Hey, how's it going?
Super. So people calling you Gator or Crocodile or anything?
Yeah, they're the Gator Man, Minnesota Gator Killer, Gator Hunter.
I like it. Gator Hunter Cory Klocek joins us today. Cory, tell everybody about yourself a little bit. What do you do?
Sure. So I am I'm a full-time student going to school for criminal justice. I am a paid-on-call firefighter, and that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I'm a newer dad. I have a 1.5-year-old. I'm an Army vet, and I just like to hunt.
Well, that's really cool. How you were in the Army for 13 years, is that right?
Correct.
And you're an Iraq veteran too, right?
Correct. Yep, I was in Iraq for 3 years.
Well, outstanding. What was your specialty when you were in the Army?
I joined to be a diesel mechanic and then got reclassed into military intelligence and had a few other jobs there as well.
That's really cool. And thank you for your service, Cory. And
thank you.
So what do you want to do with your criminal justice? You want to be a cop, a highway patrolman? What do you want to do?
Yeah, not sure yet. I would like to find something in law enforcement for sure. I looked at going the federal route, but I don't think they take anybody over 34 or 35 is what I thought I read, and I just turned 36 here last week. So
okay, I got you.
We'll see which route I end up taking. We'll see.
You know, I talked to an FBI agent years and years ago, and he was he was trying out for the CIA, or he wanted to become a CIA agent, and he was talking about one of the first things you do when you sit down and you start talking to somebody about that. And I guess like one of their first questions is, do you have any problem being in an area that does not have, and then they, electricity, water, blah, blah. And, you've been in country, Cory. So,
Sure. Yep.
you've actually lived like that. But I thought it was a really daunting question to ask, You're going to be on your own in a country with no services. That's what you'd like to do, huh? You'd want to get into some kind of federal thing?
Yeah, absolutely. If I can get into some sort of intel, that's what I did in Iraq for both of my deployments, actually. So I'm really into the intel sort of side of things.
Boy, well, I think you have a bright future. And anybody listening to us in law enforcement, start recruiting this guy right now. I'm going to have the captain from the Moorhead Police Department on in our second half hour, coincidentally, Cory. I'll give him your name, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Cory, this is pretty cool. And as Cory's already mentioned, he likes to go hunting, and he has been Mr. Media here since this happened to him. But, Cory, take us back. What was the date that you were out? I think the gun opener had just happened, but take us back to where you were and what happened.
Sure. It was actually on gun opener here in Minnesota. It was the 7th of November here. And it was opening morning, 8 a.m. I was actually on a friend of mine's hunting property. The people, or my family who I would normally hunt with, somebody was actually diagnosed with COVID or tested positive for COVID here a few days before the gun opener. So I decided to not hunt with my family. So I had asked a friend of mine who owns a farm, her name's Lisa, and said, hey, do you mind if I hunt with you and your family on gun opener? And she, knew the circumstances. And she said, yeah, absolutely, come on out. And I had already been bow hunting there prior to this. So I went out, 8 a.m. We were 8 a.m. was when the 10-pointer walked in when I shot the 10-pointer. And it was the first time I'd ever shotgun hunted. I'm usually a rifle hunter, have been my whole life. So 8 a.m., 10-pointer walks in, shoot him. First call was to the deer farmer to let her know. She was actually out there as well with her granddaughter hunting. Just let her know, hey, I got a nice buck down. And then as I was walking around to try and find it, track some blood, about a half hour later, I look across the pond that it had fallen by, and I see this. The first thing was it's an alligator. I was just confused and thought maybe it was fake until it moved. And so I called the deer farmer again, Lisa, and said, hey, Lisa, there's an alligator on your pond back here. And
what was her response to
banter.
That? What did she
say?
We
had some fun banter back and forth. No way. Yeah, there is. Are you kidding me? Back and forth trying to figure out exactly, what the heck this was going on. So her and her granddaughter actually got out of their blind and walked back. We were a few hundred yards apart, and walked back to where I was at. And we sat and stared at this alligator and weren't really sure what to do. So I called the DNR, and I asked them, hey, do you want me to kill this thing, dispatch it, or do you want me to wait for somebody to come and take care of it? And I know, that's their busy time of year. So hunting openers, fishing openers, that sort of thing. And he just said, go ahead and kill it. So I did. First I called my Cajun buddy, who's an Army vet friend of mine. He lives up here in Minnesota now. He's Cajun from down in Louisiana, born and raised down there. So he walked me through exactly where to shoot it and how to shoot it, and walked back up to the farm, grabbed the 22 from the farmhouse, and walked back down to where the gator was at.
How about that? I saw your Facebook post. You posed with your 10-point buck and with your gator.
Yeah. So once after I shot it, we pulled it up on shore, and then kind of the picture session began. And it was I just thought it would be funny to do a mount, or to put it in the antlers of the gator and the antlers of the buck and take a picture like that. So I did, and that's kind of the one that went viral as the main photo. And I've had so many people tell me to mount it like that. And I had asked my wife, and she's like, no, I don't like that. Let's do something else. And if mama ain't happy, ain't no one happy. So
amen.
Gotta do something a little bit better. So I'm actually doing a full shoulder on the deer. He'll be looking down to the right with his ears pinned back like he's ready to fight, and then the gator will be down to his right on a mud mound looking up at him with his mouth open ready to snap at him. So.
That is great. That's great.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, and Cory, since this happened, I mean, I saw the article was all over the place. When you did a search for Minnesota man alligator, you were absolutely everywhere. Can you pull a little Sid Hartman for us and drop some names on us? I mean, you must have heard from media from all over the place, huh?
Yeah. So all the local news outlets, Fox 9 Morning News, or Fox 9 News, Care 11 News, WCCO News. I was on all of their evening news, WCCO radio. I also did another one in Fargo last week.
Oh, you don't have to say who you don't have to say who that was, but
sure, Fargo radio station. I did Duluth radio. I've been on a couple of podcasts. I did 106.1 radio, the Four Outdoorsmen radio show here in Minnesota. I saw that the Washington Post had my article. Outdoor News, Outdoor Life.
Wow.
Basically all the major outdoor hunting, fishing magazines, Facebook pages, all that stuff, and then if you just Google my name, you can just scroll for an hour and see all the different. I've seen Hawaii, Alaska, Alberta. It's on all of their news. So
yeah, it's just amazing. It's truly amazing, Cory. Well, I tell you what, you did yourself proud. You did the right thing. You had the wherewithal to get it on social media right away. It was an amazing story, and it's great to see some kind of good news. So where did the gator come from? I saw that somebody thinks it's somebody's pet they let go or got away.
Yeah, that's the only thing we could think of. There's a development that's probably 400 yards or so from where we were hunting, from where this pond is. So if they were to release it in that pond, they would have had to trespass on two people's property to get back there.
Oh, okay.
Or if they release it from their house, there was other ponds that it could have gone to that were closer than this one. So I don't know if they brought it back there or if they did just kind of let it go and wish it the best kind of thing.
Cory Klocek is joining us. Crocodile Cory Klocek. He's the man in Minnesota who got the gator along with his 10-point buck on the deer gun opener in Minnesota a little more than a week ago. He is joining us talking about how this all came to be. Truly a remarkable story, Cory. There's no way the alligator would have made it through the winter, is there?
No, so they're capable of freezing for short times. A few days. They'll stick their snout through the ice, actually above the ice, so they can still breathe. But that's usually a few days at a time, not months at a time. You know how winters are here, how the lakes freeze here. Right. It would have starved to death. It wouldn't have made it through our winter.
Yep. So you did the humane thing, taking care of that thing. Cory, what a fantastic story. It gave us all a little bit of break from elections and COVID and everything else, and some fun, lighthearted reading. It was a neat thing, and you've turned into kind of a Minnesota folk hero. So really cool. I'm going to give your name to Captain Swenson here in a minute, by the way, and I wish you the very, very best in your law enforcement career. I hope you go a long way.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cory, thanks so much for joining us today. Crocodile Cory Klocek of Minnesota. Cory's from Zimmerman, Minnesota. He's the guy that bagged the alligator along with the 10-point buck. Cory, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great evening.
Thanks for having me. You as well.
You bet. KFGO time coming up on 421. You're listening to The Drive on the Mighty 790 KFGO.
We were hopping and bobbing to the crocodile rock well.
News and Views with Joel Heitkamp. Weekdays 8 to 11 a.m. on the Mighty 790 News Radio KFGO.
Here's a fact. North Dakotans have always believed in each other, in coming together and helping each other out, doing not what's easy, but what's needed. It's time to see again what we're made of. We can mask up and follow the guidelines. Give a little space so we can move forward for the lives we want to live, for each other. Stop the spread. Brought to you by the North Dakota Department of Health.
West Acres proudly presents It's a Wonderful Week, November 22nd through 28th. Take part in exciting holiday experiences, shop the best sales of the season, and get your chance to win prizes, all while supporting local nonprofits. Purchase a ticket and learn more at westacres.com.
KFGO is back at it again with the KFGO Listener Cookbook. Submit your recipes at KFGO.com or just text cookbook to 35270. The KFGO Listener Cookbook, brought to you in part by the North Dakota Grain Growers Association.
Chances are, if you're hearing this spot, you're currently in a vehicle. And if you're not wearing a seatbelt, well, that could be tragic news. For crash sakes, wear your seatbelt.
Extra enforcement now on Minnesota roads. A message from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Hey, look how cheap this one is.
That's a counterfeit.
So what?
So what? Your skin lotion could have something scary in it, like antifreeze or other poisons.
Protect yourself. Visit ncpc.org/go4real. Brought to you by NCPC and the USPTO.
This is your KFGO FM Minute. West Acres proudly presents It's a Wonderful Week, November 22nd through the 28th. Shop the best sales of the season and get your chance to win prizes, all while supporting local nonprofits. Get a ticket and learn more at westacres.com. Access Clinicals is now recruiting healthy men and women 18 and over for clinical studies on weekends and weekdays, paying up to $3,600. For more information, go to accesspays.com or call 218-284-2947. That's your KFGO FM Minute.
Hey there, this is Skylar from Thunder Coffee, a local small business and chamber member. I want to remind you that Small Business Saturday is coming up on November 28th. Your support means the world to the team here at Thunder Coffee and helps keep our community strong. Join me in shopping small, buying local, and choosing chamber this holiday season.
This message made possible by your local Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber of Commerce and its over 2,000 members. Buy local, shop small business, Saturday, November 28th.
Proof Artisan Distillers in Fargo produces nationally awarded vodkas, gins, and whiskeys made from local North Dakota egg products. Join us Thursday at 2:40 as Proof Artisan Distillers will be live in studio on Afternoons Live with me, Tyler Axness.
Hi, I'm